Alright, whilst I'm here, you're getting two for the price of one now. I've just done the video from March, so I can score that off now. And well, I think I've got a new job starting Monday, hopefully. It should be. Well, it's not something. It's not one I've really done before. I've done similar work, but it should be quite interesting. So it's might be a lot to learn. Some of you will be aware of the police officer called Detective Inspector Steve Bretherton, who apparently is in professional standards, and as I mentioned before, didn't realise the police had any. But I actually received another letter from him, having emailed him to inform him that one of the council officers had in fact committed perjury by lying in court, and also of course the judge had committed misconduct by allowing the evidence through court with nothing to back it up. And then he went a bit quiet on me. Didn't answer at all. Anyway, I'd sent him a couple more emails, but as it turns out, a letter had arrived from me at the house from him. And I hadn't been back much, and I think it probably turned up on Saturday morning, and my flatmate had chucked it on my chair, and I hadn't thought it was mixed up with a load of other paperwork, and I just didn't even see it there until this morning. So there we have it. I've emailed him to inform him of this. However, bearing in mind the police are completely ignoring, as I've just put on Facebook actually, charges of perjury, fraud, misconduct in public office, theft from the public purse, perverting the course of justice, failure to uphold the law, etc., 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 committed by well, anyone from Huntingdonshire District Council to the local common ombudsman to the auditor who decided not to account for 30 years of missing taxpayers' cash, to the police, to the IPCC, to the PCC, and well, David Cameron basically as well, let's face it. So, given that they ignored all that, they still seem to be quite intent on taking me to court for being a bit nasty to a council officer who incidentally can't justify why the taxpayer is charged £240 to be taken to court for non-payment of council tax. The initial story was they could only charge £70. That was for the court summons. And then there was it was £240, and that was for the committal order, I think he said. Yes, that's it. Just give me a reference to look this up. Didn't actually give me an explanation. Just give me a reference, which to me is unacceptable, really. These people need to be accountable, and they need to be accountable now. But miraculously, the £70 and the £240 wasn't separate. So they were saying it was £240 for a committal to court, but then I presume they were including the £70 in that for the court summons. But it didn't say that. It said it was £70 for court summons, and it said it was £240 for a committal order. But they didn't add the 70 to the 240, and there was nothing to say it was 100 and whatever pounds for the committal. So something's not right, because they won't answer this question. I have emailed them on it, FOI, and they won't answer that question. So something's just not cooking itself there. So, in the spirit of Nazi police work, he said he'd received a couple of the emails, which obviously I'd sent at least another one over the weekend before I realised I had this letter. And then he says, in respect of your allegation of theft by HTC, in respect of their charges, I refer you to my email of 28th August, which I can't remember what it said, and have nothing to add. So really, Detective Inspector Steve Bretherton approves of fraud, perjury, theft from the public purse, misconduct in public office. He approves of the Chief Constable perverting the course of justice by burying my statement against the council, along with several other charges. You know, like I said, I've lost track really. Then he says, I note the points you make in your several emails. Please be advised that I have no part to play in your prosecution. If you consider that the points you make are relevant to your defence, you or your legal advisor should bring these to the attention of the court at your trial. So he's really not interested. Couldn't give a fuck, basically. He's fine well aware that the council and the LGO and the auditor and everyone else is breaking more laws than I can pretty much count up to. But no, not the slightest. But this Cambridge Police for you. What a fine, upstanding body of men, eh? Completely ignoring serious criminal violations committed by their mates at the council. And that's all you get in response. Really. So, again, I'm waiting for your call, Mr. Cameron, because I want you to explain why all your public officials are corrupt to the core. Because to be quite honest, I'm sick fed up with a bloody lot of you. And you're just, well, certainly driving this country into the ground, but my God, I mean, what are you thinking? What are you even thinking? It's just a Nazi dictatorship. And I've said before in my videos, I feel sorry for the war dead, I really do. Because they're supporting, helping to support your corrupt existence, really. I mean, wow. He has nothing further to add. About perjury. Perjury is pretty serious. About fraud, about theft from the public purse. Detective Inspector Steve Bretherton has nothing further to add. And he's the one that's supposed to be disciplining coppers. So that might be actually why 99% of coppers that get reported for things get away with it. Because of this chap. So, I've already printed off a screenshot of the post I put up on Facebook earlier, and I've emailed it to him. Because I think these people are quite disgusting, really. Worse than any criminal. You know. Quite disgusting. Anyway, thank you for watching.